Yes, guys, and welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Tottenham are back. That means the pre-match pop-up is back. New season, new manager, new captain, new era. And I cannot wait as Tottenham travel to the G-Tech Stadium today to take on Brentford in the Premier League opener. And look, there's no better time to be absolutely deluded until reality sets in. So I want to see everyone behind the boys today. But as you can see, we are joined by two special guests. The first one we have with us, we'll go. Do you know what? We'll go to Paul first. Paul's back with us on these pre-match build-ups. How you keeping, my man?
Dude, I never thought I'd hear myself say this after last season, but I've missed this. I really have missed this. It was so hard. It was so hard in the dying embers of last year. I'm thinking, oh, flipping Nora. I've got to do a pump up with Irish Hotspur, and we're going to be talking about this bloody ragtag team of no-hopers. But I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. The road to the treble starts here.
Absolutely love it. Johnny, as you can see, Paul is ready for the Postecoglou purge on the Premier League. Are you excited, my man? And welcome to the channel.
I'm excited. Listen, Paul's road is obviously nice and smooth. My road has been full of frigging potholes, right? I've lost half of my fillings on the road since the end of the season. There's been so many holes in it. But listen, we start with positivity. Harry, I'm trying to remember his name now. Listen, look, we move on. We start again. The greats come and go this season. We got to give Ange time, but we start full of hope, like every season, full of hope.
For sure.
And one thing I got to say, David, Harry Kane was a book. He was the book, right? He was the reason we never won a trophy, right? He just proved it last night. Right? Proved it last night, okay? The cup is on. We are going to win a trophy. Come on. Let's see.
I hope so. You know, and do you know what? I hope Leipzig go on and win that Bundesliga as well. That would be absolutely brilliant. Just before we get into it, I have made some things for you guys. Of course, we do travel away to the G-Tech Stadium today. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Referee is Robert Jones and VAR is Tony Harrington. So if there's any dodgy decisions like we see last year, you guys jot them name down and you know where to go. Also, if you want to catch the game today in the UK and Ireland, it is on Sky Sports. In the USA, it's on Peacock TV. And out in Australia, it's on Optus Sports. And in Canada, I believe it's on Fubo TV as well. And we'll just run through some injury news. Of course, Bentancur is out with his ACL injury, still returning from that. Seth Young is out with yet another hamstring injury. Shock. Gil Messi is out with his back, along with Fraser Forrester, so God knows what happened there. And then with our opponents today at Brentford, Ivan Toney, I think, is the only one actually missing today. I think they've got a full squad to pick from due to his suspension for gambling. And I think Anya Kara, or whatever you want to call that idiot, I think he was a late fitness test as well. And then just a new rule change from the Premier League as well heading in today. It's about keeping the ball in play. Says this is the statement released by them. As the game collectively looks to enhance the amount of time the ball is in play in the forthcoming campaign, which is good. The exact time lost when certain game events occur will now be added in previous seasons. The policy was to add on a nominal period of time for certain game events. These events include goals and subsequent celebrations, substitutions, injuries and treatments, time, penalties, red cards, alongside a more accurate allowance for time lost during the game. The EFL will also adopt the multi-ball system, which has been proven to increase ball in play time. Match officials will also be taking a more robust approach to dealing with clear and deliberate actions that are impactful in delaying time. So look, that's absolutely what we want to see. More ball in play is better for us fans. So don't be afraid if you see 10, 11 minutes added on. It just gives us more time to go and score goals. That's what I like to hear. So that is the new rule change. Let's welcome a few people in and then let's crack on with the lads and let's see what the thoughts are heading into today's game. We have Nathan. He says, I'm going to say it, 3-1 win. Absolutely love that, Nathan. He got out the right side of the bed today. He says, Big Ange is now our saviour. Ribsy85 says, let's go. Game on. Come on, you Spurs. Harder asked for Big Ange now without Harry, but he's up for it. Man, it's tough as nails. Do you know what? I was only saying there the other day, we're lucky that we have a manager that embraces change rather than shies away from it like the previous ones. Terry Betts says, I am sticking with a 3-1 Spurs. Love that. Iceman says, good morning, all pumped for today. Come on, you Spurs. I'm going 3-1 Spurs. Sonny to get a brace and Maddie to get on the score sheet. I'm backing Sonny today, you know. Rufus Ruckott said, good morning, lads. Me and the boy Jacob are in the UK and pumped for the game. Big up, Rimsey and Jacob, Rufus and Jacob. Hopefully you have a great day. We also have Luke Bandit says 100% Son steps up to prove we can do it without Kane. Big responsibility on his shoulders now. Stevie Fraser says 4-2 Spurs. Despite it all, I'm excited for this season. Fossil football is dead. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Stevie Fraser. Good to see you. We also have Bont, this person says, come on, you Spurs. Look, List Bonto. There you are. That's a good pronunciation. First thing in the morning. J-Mac says, come on, you Spurs. Big up, J-Mac. Good to see you. Kev Williams is on optimal delusion.
I want what Kev's been taking.
So, Kev, it's early morning. Let us know what your early morning routine is. Me, Johnny, and Paul all want the secrets, my man. Who else we got? William Kelly, great to see you back, my man. Hopefully you are keeping well, sir. Nice summer away from things. Hopefully you're back rejuvenated, and hopefully life down under is going well with you and the missus as well. Hopefully you're having a great time, and hopefully Luke is okay as well. Big up, William, my man. Great to see you back, brother. We also have Kerry King. Morning, sun is shining. 5-1 to Spurs. Absolutely love that. We also have Moline. Come on, you Spurs. Watch from trying to hit that likes, people. Absolutely love that. Then we have Rake and Men and Bees better be prepared to their hive to be burned down. Yeah, hopefully they don't see us as honey, my man. Big yourself up. Free is always me. Let's go. Love that. NJ123, big up, boys. Come on, you Spurs. Martin Knightsbridge is with us as well. Morning, Dave, Johnny, Paul. It's game day. Yes, absolutely love it. Lily Whiteley, great to see you, my man. Same as you, Chris. Great to see you. Welsh Gal, hopefully you've got them IPA beers in the fridge. Says, big up. It's here. A new season, a new start. Come on, big hands and lads. Let's do this. Big yourself. But we also have Richard Taylor. Good day from Melbourne. Come on, you Spurs. Jimi Hendrix, Spurs to win the League Cup. Love that. Paddy Higgins, big up Dave, Paul, Johnny. Come on, you Spurs. Loving this new look style. Big up Chris from Meta Football as well. Hopefully you are keeping well, my man. So many Chris's in today. Outnumbered. Jim says, big up, Jim. Hopefully you and Kate are well. Big up Dave, Johnny, and Paul, my fellow Spurs lovers. Matthew's in the house. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Matthew. Let's go, son. William says, doesn't Embuemo have an injury? I think Thomas Frank said he'd be back for today for sure. And then Adrian Chia says, big up, lads. Brand new scripts for brand new season. Hopefully they're easier than the previous ones, Adrian. My mom wanted to pull me off doing watch-alongs because of how red I was getting. She was worried about my heart. So hopefully they're easier this year. Adrian, big yourself up, brother. And we're just going to get down to the bottom of the chat, but we're going to get the boys involved here now. And look, we'll start with you on this one, Johnny. The Tottenham's first match is the post-Kane era. It comes away at Brentford today. How do you think we'll get on without our talisman?
Well, listen, I think it might be a difficult start because let's be serious, right? Sonny had a double hernia operation. He's had no minutes, right? Let's not kid ourselves. We're all excited, but let's deal with the reality, right? The reality, right? I'm not here to throw cold water over the optimism. Sonny didn't play against West Ham. He's flown halfway around the world. He's gone to Thailand, nothing. Gone to Asia, Singapore. He's played 45 minutes there. He played 60-odd minutes against Shakhtar and travelled to Barcelona and didn't play a minute. I don't believe he's match fit. If you saw the ball over, that beautiful ball by Maddison with the outside of the right foot that played Sonny in, a fit Sonny is on that and he's buried it, right? Yeah. I don't believe he's fit. I know Richarlison's not fully fit. He's carrying knocks and what have you. So it's a rather unfortunate time for us to be losing Kane. But I do believe a fit a fit Richarlison and a fit Sonny, we won't miss Kane in the sense that we will be playing as a team. I believe we've been Harry Kane FC for such a long time. The press, they refer to us as the Harry Kane Club, right? We're not. Okay, well, we have been, but I want us to be Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, a team. Leicester won the title. Tell me how many outstanding individuals there were in that team. There weren't. They were a team. They were bonded together. And I think with Harry Kane now, we can gel as one, as a unit. I think we'll start well, but I think we'll fade because we have the worst pre-season conditioning. We're nowhere near match fit. Brentford have been playing a lot of games, and I think we all tire badly. So I think we're going to have to use all 5 subs. I'm worried about injuries because, as I say, pre-season and match fitness are mega important, and we just haven't had it. We just haven't had it. I reckon we take it. This is me. I think we go 2-0 lead, and then we're fighting. I expect them to come back. I'd like to see. If I see Davis today, I think I'm going to cry.
Same here. I'll go absolutely mad.
Right?
Absolutely
I'd rather
mad.
look, Mickey van der Ven. I just want to say this last thing. Sorry, before
you
come in. Mickey van der Ven is the fittest member of the Spurs squad because he was at a club that's organised called Wolfsburg, who had pre-season, played proper games, and organised themselves and didn't fly all the way around the world. So whilst he might not be clued up with everything about our squad and how people move and the system, what have you, he's got the pace if he screws up to get us out of trouble. So I'm positive, but Brentford's a very hard place to go to and get a result, as City found out. So let's go with optimism. I go with more optimism than Sonny's press conference, where his acceptance speech when he got named as the new man, the new captain. Because number one, I couldn't understand a word he said, and he was looking at the floor. When I have a captain, I want a Churchillian captain. I want someone who's going to come out there and deliver and inspire me to go on. Right? He left me with a damn whimper, mate. But come on, let's go today.
Well, look, we'll definitely get into a good conversation on Kane's Son's captaincy in a few minutes because, I want to know whether he can bring out that characteristic because you can't go around being everyone's friend. You have to be able to bollock people at times. So we'll definitely get onto that and have a good conversation on that. But Paul, we'll come to you as well with more or less the same question as Johnny. And look, Johnny sort of makes the point that we're going to be more of a team without Harry Kane. But the question is can Spurs improve despite selling Harry Kane? Because surely improvement on last season should be the goal.
Look, I've heard your mourning, David, and I feel for you, man. I feel for you, and I feel for every Spurs fan. It's like when I was growing up and Glenn Hoddle left. It's like But back in those days, there was none of this hysteria. It was just like he was going and that was it, and you just get on with it and you go to work on Monday and all that sort of stuff. The thing why. And I think we would be better with Harry Kane. There's no doubt about it. He's a world-class player. But I'm still super confident, man, because we've got Ange Postecoglou, man. And there is a reason why I've been banging on about this guy since February, March to get this guy in, is because he's a football guy. Football is not a difficult game. And there's lots of especially, since all the money's come in, you get pretenders coming in their skinny jeans like Nagelsmann. I know people wanted Nagelsmann, but I was shoo-shooing that pretender away, man. Postecoglou, through his upbringing, the way he's grown up through football in Australia, I tell you what, man, it's not an easy thing. It really is not an easy thing to be successful at football in this country. The odds are against you, and he's done it here. He went off to Japan, went off to Scotland, and I just really 100% believe in the guy, man. And okay, Harry Kane's gone, but we are nevertheless. I think this season, I don't know how long it'll take for it to kick in. I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later, you know. But we are going to see something special, and I hope that Spurs fans out there are feeling something about this. About, you know, that the club is somehow, you know, forget the owners and all that politics and all that crap, but we've got a good manager, a guy that wants to be there, a guy that wants to play the football we want to see. It's magnificent, man.
Yeah, look, I'm 100% behind Ange. I see J-Max says here, he says, Dave, if it goes belly up today, don't lose your eye. Keep the faith in Ange. And look, I want to say something I said the other day. Outside of Paul, I was on the Ange Postecoglou train before anybody. I don't need anyone to tell me to get behind Ange Postecoglou.
You know, Dave, it's hilarious. Like when I've been watching your videos over the off-season break, and you've been saying I've been backing Ange apart from Paul. I was the first apart from Paul, and thank you very much for the props for that one, man.
Oh no, look, I couldn't take full credit. You know, I had to be honest with it.
YouTube, he gives a shit.
And look, I just want to let everybody know I am 100% behind Ange Postecoglou. I watched him for 2 years at Celtic. I think he's a brilliant manager, and I think he will get the best out of what we currently have. However, as we've seen at Tottenham, a manager is only as good as the tools he has to work with. With that backline not being solid, which we were supposed to improve going into preseason, which we failed to do, it's still leaking goals. And then you're taking 30 goals out of the team. It does leave me with some concerns. But look, I hope them concerns do not come to fruition, Johnny.
Listen, we all know that defense is not worth a penny, right? Okay.
Say that again.
Honestly,
shit, man.
And Mickey van der Ven is not going to cure it on his own.
No.
Okay. He's definitely not. Ashley Phillips is a fantastic signing, right? I've known about him since he was 16. I was hoping we were going to sign him in January. I think the whole club is going for a massive transition here. But if you were to stand, in my opinion, a fully fit Tottenham team, if you stood in front of that defence and looked forward, we're exciting. We're dangerous. Yeah. We're going to scare the living daylights out of teams, right? Especially with Ange, high pressure, high intensity football. The problem is what I call the pantomime defence. It's behind you, right? And you know, everything that's dangerous is behind us. I just hope that the boys get this system very quickly. I feel that Ange has been sold down the river a little bit. I mean, he got told, right? He got told. My only disappointment for Ange is when I heard about he's not going to stand for any shit, I did not expect him to take Dyer, Davis, Rodon on that plane, okay? I did not expect to see Eric Dyer wearing the armband twice. I did not expect to see Ben Davis going to our biggest sponsor, AIA, along with Sonny, right? Okay. Those things fill me with a bit of dread because I think to myself, has Levy got inside his head and told him, you know, you've got to do these things? Because for me, Ange comes across as a man who will take no prisoners and will accept nothing other than what he wants. So I hope this is just a minor blip. And from here on in, the players he does not want are not part and parcel of this squad, right? I don't want to see him. I don't want to say. It did worry me, Dave, when I heard him say about Ben Davies being a great player. I mean, come on, please. Come on, Ange. Don't go down that route, right?
He's got to do it, man. He's got to play the game, you know.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. But come on, right? We love the honesty. I love the honesty. I love Ange's honesty. I love the fact that Ange comes here for the first time in 3 years. I've got a manager that's not telling me, listen, do you know who I am? I don't need to be here, right? I could be anywhere in the world and I'm in this shithole, right? Ange comes here and he makes me believe he's happy to be here. He wants to be here.
Yeah.
And this is the pinnacle of his career, where he is now. And he's excited for the future, which rubs off onto us. And I'm hearing and seeing the love out there for Ange from the people who had no interest in him ever coming to this club, right? So it's all positive from that point. Just give him time. Give him time. He hasn't had the defenders. He's had no preseason. And he still needs, and he's just lost his star striker. Give the guy time. I'm going to judge Ange come January when he's got that system. I'm expecting nothing but exciting football, dramatic football, heart attack football. I'm expecting it all. But I want to have the emotion back that's been drained out of me for the last 3 years.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And just about Ange, like, you know, playing the game or whatever, like in the run up to the qualification of Australia in I think it's the 2018 World Cup, he was dealing with all sorts of, you know, kind of Levy-esque, Lewis-esque kind of influences, saying, oh, you should play this way and that way. And the press were all against him. And he said, no, I'm going to do it my way. He qualified us for the World Cup and said, right, sayonara, I'm off to Japan now.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Listen, I that's what I really liked about him. Okay, this is what I really liked about him. I just don't want to see the seeds being planted of the same thing when, you know, Conte said those famous words to us fans, Eric Dyer could be a world-class footballer. Right. OK, that's when I knew the game was up. OK, I don't want to hear that from Ange. Right. I want to hear Ange say to me, you know, we've told the players that will not be part of our squad who they are, and they should be the ones we all know.
For sure. Look, hopefully you can get the rest of these players out. One player I do want to get on to quickly is Eric Dyer. I just want to, because I have concerns about the situation that's unfolding, and then we'll get on and talk about Son's captaincy. First of all, I just want to thank Perchy TV. Big up, my man. He's finished his stream and he sent people over. Absolute legend. And I'll be sure to get you back, my man. So
thank
big
you,
up, Perchy TV. Appreciate that, brother. We have Teslim Adekoya says, Dave, I come here to see you. Love your show, man. Big up, my man. Rob Wallace, hopefully you're keeping well. Sorry, he says, big up. Big day. The new era finally begins. 3-2 Spurs win. Big up, Rob Wallace. He's an absolute legend.
Only three, Rob Wallace. What are you on about? It's going to be 6, man.
Love that. Come on, Rob. You got to be more delusional than that, my man. Big up, Shamu. Great to see you. DJ Samuel, hopefully you're keeping well. Great to see you back, sir. We also have John Gerard Doran. Great to see you, Johnny boy. Leon McKenzie, big up from Singapore. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. J Mac, yeah, I've already got to that one. Big up, J Mac. Philip White, good day from Bundy. Big up, my man. Wilson T, big up, chaps. Match day, new era. Let's go get it. Come on, you Spurs. We also have Sean Slater. In Big Dave we trust. Don't know about that, but look, I'll take it. Warrior Without Master says Dyer chucking a hissy fit on social media, which we're going to come back to now.
Yeah.
Cuba99 says, big up, Dave. The panel and all in the chat really pumped up for today. Despite Kane leaving, proper football 7-3 Spurs today. The treble is on. Well, when Cuba's at his optimal delusion, there's no excuse for anybody else not to be at that optimal delusion. So big up, Cuba, and hopefully that move is going well, my man. And big up, Moondog. He says, come on, you Spurs. Good morning, 3-1 to us. Every time I see your name pop up, I'm dying just to belt out a bit of Snoop Dogg for you. I don't know why, but it just comes to mind. Yeah. There you are. Johnny's giving it to you, Moondog. Moondog. Big up, Moondog. Great to see you in the building, sir. And everyone, don't be tight on the likes today. It's the first game of the season. Let's get the like button smashed. If you're new, smash that subscribe button. Because Perchy sent people over, check out Perchy TV and give the love back the other way. And also, Hotspur Hippie Below Me, the only psychedelic football show on the internet. Check him out. And then Johnny and his amazing Twitter spaces as well. Once I bring this down, you'll see Johnny's handle. Get over there and follow Johnny. So big up, everybody. But look, let's get on to Dyer chucking that hissy fit. My belief is he was obviously told that someone would be captain, Romero Madison be vice captain, and he threw his toys out the pram because I think that guy's deluded enough to believe he should have been given some sort of leadership role within the squad. I mean, Paul, we'll go to you on first on this one, and we'll come back to Johnny. I mean, what's your thoughts on it, lad? Because for me, I think it's important now that this guy has to be sold, because if not, he's going to cause problems if he's kept around for Ange Postecoglou.
Well, as you know, David, I'm a keen Eric Dyer fan. I think he could be a captain of this club. I love him. I love his defensive skills, his awareness around the box. He's just second to none. Like, I was doing a stream this morning where all this was breaking, so I'm not quite sure what is like satire and what is bollocks and stuff like that. It was all coming around the way that Son was announced as new captain, and people were saying that, oh, Eric Dyer's all sulky. So has he actually, like on his Instagram, did he ever follow Tottenham Hotspur? Look, I'm not standing up for him or anything like that, because as far as I'm concerned, I just want him gone, man. I really want him gone. I know 2 seconds ago I said he was captain material, but I'm a fickle fan. I can't stand the guy, man. So what is it? What's your understanding of the truth around all this, David or Johnny?
Johnny,
listen,
do you want to take that?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
look,
you go.
Yeah, look, it's quite interesting actually. I think he's a fragile individual. I mean, I'll go back to the time where he had that injury, where he was out for quite a long time, and I saw him training, and I put an Instagram message out which said, "Looking fresh." That's all he said. Looking fresh, looking fitter. And I got a message back, a long message back from his then girlfriend. Yeah, about the abuse. And I said, sorry, I'm not abusing him, right? Right? You don't know he's had issues with his weight. So, hang on, right? I'm not saying anything, right? So we did.
Sorry, Johnny.
Yeah.
So you've like had no contact with these people, and you just did a little
No.
like that?
I sent a message. I sent a message, and I got a reply from this person. Yeah. Anyway, my point was, so he did follow Tottenham on Instagram. Is my point. I won't bore you with the long, drawn out back and forth.
No, go on, give it to us. I think many people
go on, man.
hear it, man.
Do it, man.
Oh, he just misunderstood, and if you knew he had this injury, and then he got this virus, and yeah. Anyway, look, the best he has been, the best performance I've seen from Eric Dyer is when he left the pitch. 2 performances. One when he went to the stands, and the other time where he ran off the pitch, did a shit, and come back and became man of the match, right? Those are his 2 greatest performances for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Listen,
that's a 10-year legacy you're talking about there, Johnny, man. Come on.
So I've been trolled. I was just telling Dave before, I've been trolled a lot of the morning from yesterday, funny enough, because I said enough is enough with Eric Dyer, right, with this. It's disrespectful to the fans, in my opinion, that have followed you for 9 years, who contribute towards your wages, that you've had a hissy fit and you've unfollowed the club and removed Spurs from your bio. Okay, I'm angry about that. So I've had people come back to me, as I was saying today before. Look what you did to Dele Alli. What do you mean? I didn't do anything to Dele Alli. Mental health, all of this been thrown at me this morning. This is some of our fan base. Eric Dyer, let's stick to football, right? I'm interested in football matters, right? And for 9 years, right? This guy's been at our club, okay? And what has he bought? What has he bought? Yep. Lots of pointing, lots of shouting. We've seen it in the clips in the dressing room where he's blaming everybody. There was the incident after the Newcastle game when him and Lloris went at it, okay? We saw the incident when him and Dele went at it, when they were blaming each other. He's not for me. If he wants to be captain, right, he can be captain of the tea room, okay? He's not captain. He can't be DJ. That's why Basuma wasn't captain, because Basuma is DJ, right? You can't be club DJ and club captain, right? It's just the written rule. I just think Eric Dyer's got to grow up, man. January he can sign a pre-contract and go wherever he wants for nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if he hangs around here like a bad rash and signs for maybe somewhere in Portugal or Spain come January. But he needs to go now. He needs to go. I don't see what he's offering unless Angie's thinking the unthinkable and playing him as a 6 in the midfield.
You know, you mentioned there, Johnny, about mental health. And I just want to talk about this a little bit from my perspective, because I suffer from extreme depression, massive anxiety and all that sort of stuff. And I've done a few things in my life or whatever. And the things that have not brought that on are people booing me, you know. Mental health is not about doing a crap job on the pitch and people slagging you off for it. Mental health is so much more complicated than that, you know. So
that's what I'm saying.
Things completely separate to Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer's just shit.
This is what I'm saying. So
get out of my club.
But this is so what you're saying there. See, I find it really offensive when I know people who suffer, you know, with mental health issues, various different types, and to have that, you know, I'm harming his mental health. No, I'm making a judgment on his disrespectful behaviour as a footballer to the fans by unfollowing the club and removing all Spurs mentioned in his bio. I just think it's disrespectful. But people use that to come at you with. They need to stop it,
man.
Stop it. We are about football. This club is about football. Yeah. Before, you will remember this, before social media, Spurs fans went to the stadium. They got there 2 hours before. We all sung songs. We were all together, right? We might have different opinions about a player, our favourite player, but it was camaraderie.
It was fun,
I've never, in all my life as a Spurs fan, seen such toxic division as there is now. I'm hoping with Ange and his positive football and his positive vibes and the good results, we'll all come back together again now and remember, you know, what we are all about. We're football fans first and foremost.
Absolutely spot on. I couldn't agree more with that. You know, and that's why these players get called out, is for their footballing ability and absolutely nothing else, unless you want to be Dyer and start unfollowing Spurs. But look, let's welcome a couple more people in. Big up, Wayno. Great to see you in the house. Paddy Harnett as well. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your holiday. Kamikaze, great to see you. Slow Jamrod as well, my man. Big up, Mr. Matthews. He says, guys, please, can we concentrate on the positive and not Eric Dyer all the time? Look, I wouldn't have brought him up if the guy didn't throw his toys out the pram for not getting in the leadership group yesterday. He does these actions. That's why he gets brought up. It's not like he hasn't done anything and we've just brought him up to start talking about him. He decided to act the plonker yesterday, so that's why he's been talked about. And then big up Phil Coyce, big up Dave, Johnny and Paul. Andrew's Army in full swing today. Come on, the lads. 4-2 Spurs. Romero vice captain. Do we think we'll have a positive effect on the performance? So look, let's get into Sonny's captaincy. Of course, you know, congratulations to Sonny, first of all, being granted the captaincy of Tottenham Hotspur. And you know, I would say deserved with the longevity that he's given us, and I'd much rather him than someone like a Dyer or Davies or people like that. So we'll go to you on this one first, Johnny. I mean, what's your thoughts on Son being made captain and Romero and Maddison as vice captain to lead this new era?
Listen, if I gave this speech, Ange gave the big build-up and, you know, this and that and the other, and then you go, and my captain is Son. What? Sorry, what was that? Sorry, what was it you said? I'm sorry, right? If someone could tell me what he said, because I found it really, really difficult, right? It's like he reminded me of a mate of mine who had to get up and do a speech at his wedding, and he was dreading it, right? And he got up, and I said to him, whatever you do, don't look at your feet when you're talking, right? Just look up. And he spent the whole time looking down at his feet, right? Because he was. So I was a bit surprised. I expected Sonny to be, a little bit fiery, not fiery, but, you know, to be really happy, to look up at everyone. I think I was more impressed with the fact that Romero is going to be vice captain with Maddison. I think that's quite interesting. I think what Ange has done here is a balance. It's a very interesting balance. What he's done is he's gone for the most popular, who is Sonny.
Yeah.
He's gone for the winner, who is Romero, right?
Mm.
And then he's gone for Maddison, who, you know, is a sort of a balance between the two, and is very well liked, you know, and he's been a bit of a leader at Leicester. So I think he's got a nice balance there. I hope the three of them together, for all their different bits and pieces, will be able to, you know, to make combine, make a great captain material. The only thing is, I don't know whether Romero Kuti was made captain because he can speak to the South American contingent rather than the British contingent, because his English is about on the level of Richie.
Look, my opinion with Sonny, first of all, is, you know, he's a well-liked guy in the squad, sort of gets on with everyone. You see him in these little different friendship groups, but I question, does he have the character to bring out that nasty side? And when he does, how will people react to it? Because they're not used to seeing it. You know, I think with modern football, people get the idea that this captaincy and leadership group have to be friends with everyone. For me, that's not what a captain's all about. A captain is a guy that can stand up and call people out and tell them when they're wrong and tell them what they need to do, and these guys respond to it. I mean, Paul, do you think Sonny has that side in him? Because he is captain of his Korean national team.
Yeah, I think he might do, and I do kind of agree with Johnny. Like, I was watching that press conference where some was, you know, Andrews, and here's our new captain, Min Son, and, you know, bugger me if I could kind of follow what was going on after that, but I'll draw people's attention to an interview that was released a couple of days ago with Ange Postecoglou. I think the channel was Men in Blazers, and he's talking about when he went to Yokohama. So all of a sudden, you know, he's a man known for his rhetoric, like us over here in Australia, who can talk a good talk, get people pumped up.
Yeah.
He goes over into a country where his language is no good to him. You know, he's got 3 interpreters, and still he managed to somehow convey that message across. So and I think Sonny can do that. You know, I think Sonny he's kind of Tottenham. You know, I was actually excited at that announcement. I'm not keen on a captain being anywhere out of midfield and defence, really. But when it was Sonny, I thought, yeah, you know what, he's the guy. So I'm all behind it, man.
Do you remember that? Do you remember though? What's worrying me was, do you remember the All or Nothing with Sonny's argument with Lloris, where he was almost crying, right? Right. I mean, it was a bit embarrassing, right?
I didn't watch it, so, you know.
Right. To me, he seemed quite soft, and Lloris seemed to be the one that was fully in control of that situation. For me, what I like is, I'm from the old era where I want my captain to be that, right?
Yeah.
And that's why
Steve Perryman, eh?
Yeah, that's why I love the fact, and I had this conversation on other streams, which I won't mention, about Romero being part and parcel of this captain or vice captain or whatever. He's too rash. He's too that. Listen, when the shit goes down, Romero's going to be in their face. He's going to be standing up for his players, along with Richie, along with Emerson. I want nasty players in my team. I want, when they're in that tunnel, they're going down that tunnel. They know already they're not beaten, but they know that they're in a game, right? Højbjerg's nasty, Romero's nasty, Richarlison's nasty, Bentancur's got a nasty streak, right? Porro's got. I want players with an edge. Players with an edge, and I think the balance is okay. But I agree. I think Sonny's very nice, and he's there to maybe be the friendly one. I just can't see him delivering that inspiration. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I've listened to him speak. I watch a lot of his interviews and stuff that the South Korean fans put out. Maybe I'm being unfair. Let's see. Let's see.
You know, you got Sonny up front scoring goals. You got Romero at the back breaking legs. Madison
the middle
creating. I think it's a good blend.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, look, you know, with Sonny, that is my concerns. I hope to be proven wrong because, you know, a massive part of why this club has the results and ups and downs it does on the pitch is because there has been a lack of leaders, a void of leadership as well, sort of pulling people together. But Paul, as well, what do you think of Romero and Madison being made as his sort of backup in that regard? Are you happy with it? Because for me, I think there's a lot made about Romero's rashness. I agree with Johnny. For me, I like players like that, a bit of steel, a bit of heart. You know, sometimes you got to let people know that you're about. What's your opinions on Madison and Romero as vice captains?
Look, I've got no truck with anyone that slags off Romero for being too rash. You know, I'm used to like Graham Roberts and Paul Miller, for God's sake, just, you know, being hard but fair and taking people's teeth out.
Dave
Mackay, you know, you go back further.
Roy Keane.
Exactly. You know,
Roy Keane.
Robbie Keane. You know,
Roy Keane.
I like that aspect of Romero's game, man. I like it that he, you know, even in the World Cup where, you know, in the first, you know, 3 minutes of them of Argentina playing France, Romero's elbowing Hugo Lloris in the gut, saying, "Just letting you know I'm here, mate." You know,
yeah.
I love it. I love that kind of controlled animosity.
Pulling Cucurella's hair.
You know,
pulling Cucurella's hair.
That was my favorite.
You know, he might. He gets the odd yellow or red card. I don't care, man. I don't care. Romero, whatever. Don't listen to anyone. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Because I think that is the steel we need in defence. And look, last year he was doing it on his own. He's the only decent defender we've got. Like this year, at least maybe we've got someone who can partner him or whatever. I mean, Doggy looks okay. But I think Romero is vice captain. I think that is it's a great move, and Madison has creativity in midfield. I think Ange is on it, man. I'm biased, man. I'm a Tottenham fan, I'm an Ange fan, and we're going for it, man.
Can I just say, you know, like if you think about it, right? If you're a striker and 2 minutes in and you're already bullying the defender, right? It's game over. It's game over. You need to let the striker know you're getting away with jack shit with me, right? I'm any chance I get, you're going to get the elbow. You're going to get this. You're going to get it all. All right. That's what I want. I want
a touch up.
Yeah. I just, you know, oh, sorry. Listen, Sunday football over Hackney Marshes, right? When you're growing up and you go up and the guy goes to me, you go past me, mate, and I will kill you, right? I will do this to you. I will do that to you. That back in the day, right? Right? There was no limits to what people would say and try and do to you. I know there's limits now in football, but I think I would rather have that. And Mickey van der Ven at 6'4" is a big unit. He's a big unit. I'm hoping to see that aggression from him as well.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I hope so. Kuva says Steve Perryman has been the best skipper we've had in my lifetime. Had total respect of all the players. Tough, good talker, led by example. Only ones close since has been Mabbott. Yeah, look, you know, Steve Perryman a bit before my time.
Kuva's on it.
Yeah, but for me, you know, look, we'll see how Son gets on with captaincy. For me, I think it's going to take a bit of time, maybe, but let's see how he gets on. I think out of everybody there, I think he probably deserves it the most. We've got a super chat here from Tin Man. Big up, Tin Man, brother. Hopefully you're keeping well. Come on, you Spurs. First game of the season. Let's get after it with some Ange ball, Tin Man, eh? He says,
Dave, man, you're gonna love Heung-min Son even more. The number of times you see his armpits lifting 1, 2, 3 trophies this year. Come on, man.
Hey, listen, so. Dave, it's all about the one thing, mate. I'm waiting for one of you to say it. No one said it, so I'm going to say it, okay? It's about the money, right?
Oh.
Sonny, captain, South Korea, Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Nah,
Okay.
man. No, Ange is
It's a
picking the best guy.
combination. It's a combination. It's a combination. He's a longevity, which he deserves it. Okay, whether I agree with it or not, his character, he deserves it. But Levy is loving it.
Oh, he's going to rake it in, coin it in. The amount of jerseys he's going to sell now on top of what he already does. Look, the club know it's a good commercial move. That's why they'll never, ever let Sonny leave here until he's sort of over the line, because the commercial-wise, the club are absolutely caking it in on that. You're absolutely spot on there, Johnny. But I seen someone else say yesterday, maybe Son was elected. I mean, if we're electing captains through players voting, we've got a problem. The manager should be
correct,
the one to pick that captain. If we're doing elections, I mean, fuck me, Jesus Christ. We may as well just tune into the USA elections this year. Tim Man 007 says, Ange has used a very clever strategy in Son as captain, playing up front. Matters in midfield, and Romero for defence. Well, I know Johnny's nodding his head at this, so Johnny, do you want to come in on this and we'll let Paul in on it?
That's what we said. This is exactly what we said. This is exactly what we said before. It's the balance between, is what you said as well, is the balance between having Son up front, Romero looking at something from the back, and that added responsibility. This is a guy that won the World Cup. Let's not diminish it. I saw so many people slagging Romero off. Man, do you know what it's like to win the World Cup and be on that massive high and then have to come back to Spurs and play with Eric Dyer and Ben Davis?
Yeah,
and then get slagged off. Then get slagged off for rushing across the pitch to try and make a last-ditch tackle. Come on. Let the guy play with Mickey van der Ven. Let's see what happens. Great teams are built on great defensive partnerships. We haven't had it since Jan and Toby. I'm hoping this could be the one, but it's going to take time. It's not going to be built overnight. Please, God, today, I just don't want to see Davis in that position. Please.
Yeah. Absolutely spot on. I mean, this would be one of my biggest bugbears of Tottenham Hotspur. They seem to spend money everywhere else, change absolutely everything: managers, coaching staff, scouting department, directors of football, etc. But the defence. I mean, it's glaringly obvious. Just get back to where Toby and Jan were. We're conceding double now than what we were when they're in the back line. It's absolutely mind-boggling why this club does not want to spend on defenders. It's the amount of transfer windows they've had. They go into the season, it shows up problems. Go into January, no, we'll get them in the summer. Come the summer, no, we don't get them. I'm absolutely fed up with it. Just to improve the back line, you're going to see improvement on the football pitch. But Paul, I mean, what's your thoughts here? I think Tim Mann is absolutely spot on here. And I like the way, is that strategic from Ange? Has he done that out of clubs where it's been a forward, midfielder and a defender in that leadership group?
I think Ange has just picked the best people for the roles. Simple as that. He ain't going to be swayed. It doesn't matter. This is the thing. Like Ange, like his man management is touted as really good, but man management isn't just with the players. It's with the twats upstairs, and I think he's playing their game as well. And I think that's to our benefit. And I like what Johnny said about Romero. People slagging off for that rash challenge. It's like, well, what do you want the guy to do? You want an absolute beast in defence. You want two absolute mongrels stopping people getting in your penalty box. I think Romero is one of them. It's a great mixer, I think, of aggression at the back. A bit twitchy. What's Romero going to do? He's a bit unpredictable. He's a bit of a live wire. Maddison, unpredictable. Where's he going to play the ball? And Sonny just banging the bloody things in the back of the net. The treble's on, man.
I really do hope so. Look, it's a smart move, Tim Man, by Ange Postecoglou, in my opinion. That means Romero's going to be the one to lead that back line. Maddison will be the one to lead the midfield, and Sonny the one to lead up front. So if there is any problems in them departments, everyone knows who that leader is and that who has to sort it out, but who they have to listen to as well. And to be honest with you, I'd much rather Romero. I admire someone who's more proactive about the game rather than someone like Dyer who's flapping his hands everywhere, turning around, pointing at everyone else. And it's like, but you're the closest guy to him. Go and deal with it. So for me, I'm glad that, we have had that change in leadership, Tin Man.
Were you two both like shitting yourselves a little bit when the Barcelona game happened and Eric Dyer was captain? And I'm thinking, no, I'm hoping.
I was dreading the worst.
But you know who got the blame? You know who got the blame? Reguilon got the blame. Reguilon got the blame. Reguilon had a very good first half, right? Second half, 60 minutes, he needed to come off. You could see he was knackered.
Yeah.
But that goal where Dyer was just caught in the middle, had he been where he should have been, Reguilon was playing where he should have been and Dyer wasn't. And then he ended up pulling his hamstring. I was just going to say, just quickly going back to that defensive partnership, what I like about Mickey van der Ven and Romero is their yin and yang.
Yeah.
Mickey van der Ven is not he's not the guy that makes a tackle. He's the guy that uses the run and uses his brain to block defenders, to block the run. What is his actually best asset is also his biggest liability, because sometimes if you stand off and try and force someone wide, you do give them a chance to get the shot off. But the other thing, on a positive note, and some might say negative note, is I don't remember the last time Tottenham Hotspur had 4 defenders who all want to attack. Mickey van der Ven brings the ball out of defence and likes to get forward. Romero likes to bring the ball out and likes to get forward. Adoji is all about the attack, right? Well, Porro, I won't class him as a defender, but even Emerson likes to get forward. So we've got a very, very progressive defensive line, which is very unusual to have 2 centre-backs who both like to do it. I just hope that they're organised in such a way. I can see if one goes forward, that when Emerson's playing, he's going to drop back in as a right centre-back to cover, Romero should he go on one of his runs. But it's all positive, man. It's a start.
Dude,
for sure.
Dude, I was hoping for a nice peaceful night tonight watching the game, but you've got me even more pumped up. I didn't even think about that. All our defenders like to go forward now. Brilliant.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, it is.
You're going to get Paul that pumped up. He'll be resting in about an hour or 2. I love it.
Hard, Paul.
But Tin Man, big yourself up, brother. I really do appreciate the support, man. It really does help everything we try and do over here. And as you can see, we're constantly trying to improve. And big up the perch. He says, the first time in 4 years, I'm excited for a game. Come on, you Spurs. And do you know what, lads? I've seen a lot of this about from a lot of people who have maybe become disillusioned with Tottenham since the Pochettino days, that there's genuinely a lot of excitement heading into this sort of season, and 100% I get it. But should we sort of temper our expectations a little bit, knowing that there's going to be bumps in the road, knowing that the whole spine of the team has changed? Goalkeeper, centre-back, your midfield has sort of changed, and now you've got a new guy sort of leading the line in Richarlison up front. Should we maybe temper them expectations? What's your expectations from this season, Paul? We'll start with you.
Look, I'm very pumped, man. I'm very pumped because of Ange Postecoglou, and I'm thinking we're going to hit the deck running, but what do I know? And we might hit bumps, but we're going to see, and we've already seen, I think, progression in pre-season, like in the game against Barcelona and Shakhtar and Stratford FC and Singapore McDonald's or whatever. We can at least see the way that things are going. So it may take some results for us to we might be all open against Brentford and we might get smacked 3-0 or whatever. I don't know, but I think the general trend, to use a wanky corporate term, is going to be up. And I think we'll feel it. It's not just, football for me isn't about statistics and, spreadsheets and slide rules. It's about how you feel. And I think we will feel really good even after tonight. We might not win. I hope we do, obviously. But you can feel it. You can feel the momentum of this club is going in the right direction. Despite all, all those clowns up in the big leather chairs and all that sort of stuff. We've at least got a manager that understands football, and I think understands what Tottenham fans want to see. And for that, I'm just, this is a dream come true for me. I've not been this excited since Terry Venables was in the offing to be manager. It's not that we haven't had good managers since, but Terry Venables, like when the buzz was going around, like, it's like, oh shit, you know, that's obviously the guy. For me, Ange Postecoglou is the guy, and you know, whatever happens, I'm along for the ride, man.
I love it. I love it. Johnny, do you think that, you know, Spurs fans should maybe temper the expectations a little? Because look, I'm one of these. I get carried away. I get delusional. I want the best, especially in and around game day. But I'm also aware that there is going to be bumps on the road. This isn't just going to be plain sailing the whole way through.
No. Listen, let's be real. I got to be honest with you. I think the big test so far, the big test will come. In my opinion, not so much today. I want to see us. We're a possession team. I want to see our recovery game. Okay, I want to see our ball recovery game. We're not going to see that today because Brentford play on the counter. They're a counter-attacking team. They're happy for us to have the ball, and they will hurt you. Awisa and Waymo, right?
Yeah.
Rico Henry down the flanks. That's what they're trying to do. Okay, Man United will want to have the ball. Ten Hag will want to control that football. So, who's going to win control of the ball? How will we play when we don't have the ball? We haven't seen that yet. Come on, we played West Ham, some Sailors, Shakhtar who weren't up for it, Barcelona. But I think it's important that we see how we are without the ball. And then that will tell me, I feel, where we are as a football club. I'm not going to be able to gauge too much with Brentford today. If we can win the recovery, I mean, if you remember, not comparing us, by the way, but if you remember the great Pep Barcelona team, okay, not only did they control the football, but when they didn't have that ball, they hunted in packs. And they won that ball back. I want to see our recovery skills against Man U. Today is about how we cope with the pace, the ball over the top. I expect us to be tiring in the second half because they're well ahead of us in football fitness. But I think we got optimism. I think a fit Richarlison. Listen, Richarlison is not Harry Kane. Harry Kane is irreplaceable. Okay, let's have some levels. Let's have some levels. These people that attack Richarlison, I understand it had a shocking season. But he's Brazil's number 9. Giovanni Lo Celso is Argentina's number 10. Romero is Argentina's centre-back, right?
Oh, Johnny, man.
We have a good team. We have South Korea's captain. We have lots to be positive about. It's how it blends in. I think Ange ball is very, very exciting. It's high intensity. I don't think our players have got the legs for it just now. But let's see where we go. But for me, I will only be able to judge us as where we are after we played a team that also likes to control the football.
For sure. Look, you know, I think Brentford, we'll get on all right today, but I do think there's bigger tests to come. And what I will say, Andrew's got off to, you know, he hasn't been given the kindest of starts. 4 away games in the first 6, plus an away game in the Carabao Cup. And we all know our away form down the years has been absolutely atrocious. A lot of our cup exits have been suffered away from home, and a lot of our poor performances have been away from home. So that definitely, you know, gets Andrew off to a tricky start. Go on, Paul.
Well, you know, our cup exits have been down to our B team, haven't they? You know, when you're looking at Mura, or the worst one for me last year was Sheffield United. That was just an absolute kick in the balls, you know. But look at our B team this year. We took the match to one of Europe's best teams, Barcelona. They played their A team. That's the team that is going to be playing Fulham. That's the team that's going to be playing Accrington Stanley. So I'm pumped, man, about our cup chances.
Yeah, look, as we know, Paul, you know, Ange Postecoglou will target every single cup. It won't be like Pochettino beforehand, maybe, where he's sort of concentrating on the Premier League and the Champions League. Ange Postecoglou sees every cup as a chance of success, and he'll definitely go for it for sure. I'm excited about that. I won't lie. I won't lie. Just before we get into Tin Man Super Chat, everybody, please get over and follow Paul over at Hotspur Hippie, and also get on Johnny's Twitter Spaces. He's a link here for his Twitter handle is there, so please use that. Get over and check them out. He's absolutely brilliant, and same as Paul on the Hotspur Hippie with the YouTube channel. Get over and check that out. Timman 007 says if we can get Orban, Tapsoba, and if Højbjerg leaves, go and get Lavia. That would excite me. Need to show ambition now. I'm back. And go on, Paul. We'll let you in on this one first, and we'll come up to Johnny.
No, the only thing that makes me laugh about this is Tap Sober, because I've got a good mate here and he's not like a Spurs fan. I'm kind of dragging him into the Spurs fold, but it's like every day he says, "What about Tap Sober?" All I've been hearing is 2 months and Tap Sober and Tap Sober and Tap Sober, and now nothing. So, you know, whenever I see the name Tap Sober, it makes me giggle a bit. I don't know, man. You know, I think we're going to be good.
Do you know what? Just on that, for me, where's it gone? Sorry, Tim, man. My bad, my man. How rude of me. Look, when it comes to Tap Soba, I firmly believe we ain't getting them now. For me, there was a fee band around earlier on this summer, 35 million. I told everyone it's absolute horse crap. The guy had 3 years left on his contract, one of the hottest prospects around Europe at that centre-back position. Never going to go for 35 million. My opinion is Spurs have gone and looked at the price, don't like it, and we definitely ain't paying it. And I know people are going to say we've got the K money, but I genuinely am of the belief we ain't spending that. We spend 196 or 193 million euros this summer, including having to pay for Kulusevski and Pedro Porro. So for me, and when you look at it, we've also got a squad of 32 senior players that has to be whittled down to 25. There is no room for us to maneuver in terms of bringing in senior players. Players under 21s that don't have to be registered, you might see that happen. But I'm of the belief you will not see a Tap Sober in this store in this store before the transfer window is out. But Gift Orban, Tim, man, I think, look, me personally, I think it's madness that I've seen so many people sort of say get rid of Kane and then think this guy from the Belgian Pro League is the answer to come in and grab them goals. But I get there's a lot of excitement around them and there's a lot of potential around them. But I do find it odd. But look, with Gift Orban, for me, I get it. But we should be going and replacing Harry Kane adequately with a seasoned pro, someone who's played in a big top 5 league that knows how to score goals. Someone like a Dusan Vlahovic, for instance. However, I don't see it happening, Tim Man. But let me know what your thoughts are on that. But Johnny, do you want to have your say on Tim Man?
Yeah. I think you hit it right. Taps over, right? Right. I've done with it. Right. Okay. If we buy him, for me, I would have liked to see Tosin. Tosin fits in the bill. He's 6'5", 1 year left on his contract. He's Tosin. Quick, come through the academy in Man City, right? Rates himself, and that'd be the one I would go for. Gift Orban, right, guys? Let's have some reality, right? He had hardly any career as a junior. He's been scoring goals in Norway and Belgium. Okay. He's rawer than a baboon's ass, okay? he's got goals in him. He's got goals in him, but he's raw. He's raw, right? Okay. In normal market, with the market not just going, he's like 15 million plus add-ons, plus maybe a sell-on clause. He ain't no 40, 50 million pound. Højbjerg, if Højbjerg goes, for me, Lavia is what a player he is. What a player. You see, this is the club. For me, if you've got any balls, you go and get Lavia, right? You just get in there and you get him. 19 years of age. His ball recovery is not only that, how quickly he distributes that ball, always looking to progress the ball quickly. He's got it all, and he's only 19, and he's a beast. Paulinho is incredible, right?
I love him.
His stats were better than any other player in the Premier League last season, almost double the recoveries and the tackles than any other player in the midfield. 70 million for a 28-year-old? Nah. Amrabat is your other option. I can't see him. He'll probably end up at Man United. So my argument is you don't get rid of Højbjerg unless you're going to upgrade to someone like Alavia. I think Mawani would have been good. Colin Mawani, because he can play off of the flank and he can play through the middle. I would not be surprised. You know, a typical Levy signing would be Ivan Toney. Why? Because
he can't play.
He's on charge. He can't play. He hasn't signed a new contract. Right? You can just see it. But Brentford play hardball, so that might be difficult to do. I think, but as you said, I think we have 38 professionals, of which 4 are under 21s. So that makes us 34 pros. You can only loan out 8. We really need to get players off the books. And we need to do like Arsenal. Arsenal got rid of Ozil. They got rid of Sanchez. They got rid of Aubameyang. They got rid of Nicolas Pepe, right? Cut the contracts, send them on the way, get rid of the poison out the dressing room, cleanse the building, and make way. And I think we're going to get opportunities near the death. I think that's when we're going to see, players coming in. We should be happy. You know, I've got to be honest with you. This transfer window at the moment for me is about a 3 or 4 out of 10. Purely from the fact to the matter that we haven't got as yet another centre back. I believe we need another goalkeeper because Foster is not in for this system, and we need another striker.
Yeah, look, and we'll get Paul as well in on this. I mean, you know, what do you think we have left to do? We're coming off the back of Tim Man Super Chat. Sorry about that, Tim Man. I'm caveating off the back of my man. It's causing great discussion here, brother. Paul, what do you think Tottenham have left to do this summer transfer window? You know, Johnny's rated it a 3, 4 out of 10. What needs to be done to make it higher?
Yeah, and I get that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I get it because we've lost, Harry Kane. So you've got to take that into account as well. So that's you lose the world's best player, and whatever
no
is
succession plan, Paul. No succession plan.
You're
going, and just told him we knew he was going. So what do? Behind the scenes, what you do is you negotiate quietly for a striker. So what you do is you appease the fan, and the next day Harry's going. Well, hey, look, we've just signed.
Well, you see, I would upgrade that. Like if it was like a 6, and then Johnny's taking it down to a 4 or whatever, I take it back up to a 10 because we've got Ange Postecoglou. I can't hide my delusion, man. It's because I've just seen the guy do, like he's turned crap into gold in Australia and time again when I've watched him. So, but if I take Ange out the equation, look, we needed a bit more in the defence, didn't we? Really, I mean,
100%. We need more.
It's no secret. 63 goals last year. One defensive signing is not going to fix that. So we're kind of in the state now where we're hoping we can score more goals than our defenders will leave in. And the promising thing I saw in the preseason games was, though, and I'm not saying this in a total crap window, by the way. I'm just trying to beat myself up here. Is that in the preseason games when we lost early goals, unlike last year where we completely felt the shit. This year, there was some steel about the team. There was something there. There was some cockerel standing on a football spirit. There was something, and I mean, I give the window.
Apart from the last few minutes, Paul, at Barca.
We don't worry about that, man, because Ange just wanted to get minutes into people's legs. That's all it was.
What Paul's saying is Conte turned champagne into piss, right? And Ange can turn water into wine. That's right,
man. That's it. You got it in a nutshell. That's it. That's it. That's it. Well, I think there was a lot of things going on last year, and I don't think the style of football was good. And I think we were relying on players. No, we were relying on players like bloody Eric Dyer and Ben Davies and Tanganga and these fucking idiots that should have been shipped out of our club 5 or 6 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I just think we can do better. We can do better. But the transfer window, what did you give our team, man?
I gave it 4. I gave it 4 because, look, what I'm saying here is I gave it 4 because you need to address the elephant in the room, right? The elephant in the room is the defence, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Okay, I'll give you a scenario. Romero gets injured today.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Okay, well, what are you going to do? You're going to tell me we're going to be fine? No, I don't want to be one injury away from disaster, and that's what we will be. So, you know, we need a Tosin. I quite like Bongiorno, the Torino captain, who plays on the left side, right? Who was called up to replace Bastoni. There are options out there. I do think Paratici probably got players now ready. Should we get rid of players? I think we will have targets that we will try to go to. Whether or not we can get them now in this crazy transfer market, because the prices are just insane, man. Insane.
Yeah, I'd maybe give the transfer window a 5, but if we got another defender, then it would be. I agree with you, man. Like it's, you know, I mean, I know Dave's been banging on about it for years. Our defense is so bad. It's just so obvious. Everyone, you know, there's what 18 million, 182 million Tottenham Hotspur fans in the world. Apparently, everyone can look at our defense and see their crap.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Paul? If Emerson Royal gets injured, who's playing right back?
Well, I suppose it'd be Porro, wouldn't it?
And exactly,
we only need one guy there, you know.
I'm not a
manager. You're troubling me with problems that are not my concern. I just lie on the couch and watch football. I don't give a shit.
You know what? I do want to get into a conversation on Pedro Porro. So give me 2 minutes on that. But Tim, man, big yourself up, brother. As you can see, you've created a great conversation. Look, for me, I think the window's probably been a 3 or 4 out of 10 so far. You know, I think the fact that, you know, I do agree with Johnny, and this is my concern. We're one injury away at the back line for the same old numpties to step in here, but also one injury away in the forward line from being in real trouble as well. Correct. And that's where I do think the club really need to act. You look at Leicester last season, they never addressed their back line. They went without Schmeichel in goals, and they went without Vardy up front, despite signing players that many Spurs fans said they would have loved Spurs to buy and bring in here. They end up carrying the price of it. They changed the whole, more or less, spine of the team and carried the price of it. So if we do not get it right, we're only a couple of injuries away from a real disaster. So that's why I want this club to act in the final few weeks of the window, to be able to give Ange the tools necessary so that we can sit here and enjoy his football and the results aren't so up and down. It's now about trying to get consistency in performances, which will bring around consistency in results. So big up, Tim, man, my man. I really appreciate it.
Look at Liverpool, Dave. They didn't address the midfield last season and paid the price, right?
Yeah, 100%, my man. You know, and that's why it's important at Tottenham for us to be able to get the deals done, because we, you know, this is what bugs me. We go into every summer frustrated with players, and we know exactly who needs to go. Coming out of the summer, give them a chance. And it's like, why? They get a chance every single season and then let us down. Surely the whole idea is about progression, you know, moving forward to where we want to be. And by doing that, you have to stop being sentimental towards some of these guys. People said to me, stop being sentimental towards Harry Kane. I mean, I'd rather be sentimental towards Harry Kane than Eric Dyer. At least my priorities are straight. You know, we just got to be stop being sentimental towards the crap players. Thank you for coming. You've tried. You're not good enough. Fuck off. That's the way it should be. We should need to start acting like a rootless club. Yo Lad says, in fairness, Richie has been very poor so far. I have my doubts whether he can produce for the mighty Spurs. In other words, sell him. So look, that brings me on to another talking point, and then we will go back. So I want to talk about Vicario, or not Vicario. I want to talk about right back. I want to talk about centre back as well. But if Richie doesn't work out up front, I do have my concerns about this. Do we then play Son through the middle, or would you play Son through the middle today as is to maybe try and claw back some of the goals that Harry Kane scored here? Who wants to take that, Johnny or Paul? One of you can go first.
Go on. Listen, look, I think a fit Richarlison. We have not seen a fit Richarlison. Okay, he recovered for the World Cup. We saw what a fit Richarlison can do in the World Cup, right? On his own, he created that goal out of nothing. And that other goal, the second goal that he scored, that unbelievable, not the overhead kick, the second goal was just as incredible. A fit Richarlison can operate in this system. Why does he operate in this system? Because for Brazil, he plays off the shoulder, he drives forward. And what happens is, what we saw against West Ham, which a lot of people thought he had a poor game, when he drives forward on that line, trying to break the lines, he's taken one or two players with him, and he's leaving pockets of space which are being exploited by the likes of Maddison, Giovanni Lo Celso, Papa Sarr, and that's what he does. Okay, that's what he will do. Plus, he will score goals when he's fit, but he isn't fit. He's carrying an injury. He's carrying a knock. He's not 100% fit. But Spurs fans aren't interested in that. They want the there and the now. So I think it could be harsh for him today. I'll be interested to see if he starts. Sonny's definitely not fit, right? He's nowhere near match fit, right? He's not even had 90 minutes of football. He might have had 90 minutes of football all summer, right? That's not enough. There's nowhere near enough to play. So the question is, do you play a false nine? That would be interesting to see. I think that would be a good curveball if Sonny and Richarlison are struggling today to play a false nine. So then the question is, who do you play in that false nine? Perisic, for me, if Sonny is fit and Richarlison isn't, you have to play Sonny through the middle, and you play Perisic out on the left. Personally, I play Porro on the right with Emerson behind him, crossing those balls in.
Yeah.
But how do you do that when Son can't hit a ball? That works if Richarlison's playing. If Richarlison's fit, then for me, I'm playing Porro on that left-hand side because Sonny's not fit. And I'm playing Porro on the other flank. And I'll be bringing on Son and Kulu with 20 minutes to go, because I don't think any of these players are going to last well for the 90 minutes. The good thing for us this season, I wanted to make this point earlier, actually. We are in a favourable position not being in Europe this season. Andrew's going to have more pitch time than any Spurs manager has had for many, many years. He's going to be able to get across his ethos. He's going to be able to plan for the game ahead, the tactics, analyse where it all went wrong the week before. Whereas normally, the second that game's finished, we're looking at Wednesday's game or Tuesday's game in the Champions League, or Wednesday's game or Thursday's game in the Europa League. So now he's going to have a whole week to focus. So I'm hopeful that the tactics become really flexible and Ange gets the time to work on the system. I think the squad is the most flexible squad up front that we've had in a really long time. I know Kane's not there, but look at the parameters. I mean, Richie doesn't like playing on the flank, especially on the right. He'll play off the left. He can go through the middle. Son can play through the middle, out on the left. There's lots of flexibility in that in that team. But I think today, if Richie is fit, then he's got to start through the middle. I just doubt whether he is.
Yeah, look, I think Richie should be given the chance down the middle, but I just don't think he'll have that composure in the moment. I think that's his biggest problem. He snatches at things. I think eventually we might have to refer to Son through the middle. But Paul, what's your thoughts on it? I mean, look, you've been following Ange for years. He's got so many attacking players at his disposal that he can chop and change wingers. He can chop and change maybe the forward line if needed. How do you think he'll handle all this? Because I actually think he's got a headache on the horizon if he keeps playing Son off the left and Kulu off the right, cutting inside, because they're effectively cutting inside to where Maddison is, whoever that other number 8 is, and it's really clogging up the system. And I noticed that in the first half, in a couple of the games, over pre-season. How do you think Ange will handle it? And do you think Richie's the guy? Can Richie take the mantle off Harry Kane and surprise Benning and get the goals?
Well, you know, I think like a bit like Johnny was saying, I think like up front we've got good problems. You know, we've got some good players up there. But I take your old man's point. I'll tell you what, it was so good when I was doing one stream and your old man left a comment on my stream. I thought, I've made it now. David Harris's old
He's a
man.
legend, this guy. He's a legend.
It's like, yes, I'm in YouTube righty now. And I think he's right, man. It's Richie to me so far, you know, and let's hope that I'm wrong. He kind of looks like a footballer, but isn't. You know, he's got a habit of like running away from space into congested areas. His finishing hasn't been good. The only time he seems to create space is when he goes too soon and he gets offside. So I don't know, man. I don't know about Richie. And I'll put a tinfoil hat on for a second here. I'll get all conspiracy theory on you here. I kind of thought we bought Richie in the event that he might have a really good World Cup for Brazil and we could flog him for double. And that didn't happen. And I mean, there's nothing about the guy that I don't like. Like, I like his demeanor. I like his personality. But man, he's got to do it on the pitch. The thing I think that will help us up front this year is Manor Solomon. I think Manor Solomon could turn out to be such a Swiss Army knife.
I agree.
Like, you know, when he played his debut on the left, I thought he was great. And then next game, he's playing on the right, doing exactly this. He was out Kuluing Kulu on the right-hand side. So it's not all doom and gloom, man. I agree with your old man. Whether Richie can come up to, you know, sell the goods or not, I'm not sure. I'm really hoping. I'm hoping he can. It'd be brilliant. What a fairy tale it would be. But at the moment, I'm not sure.
Yeah, look, and this is the thing, I suppose, going into this season, right? There's a lot of doubts about Vicario. People have their doubts about the back line. People have their doubts about the forward line. So there's a lot of, and some people would still have their doubts about Ange. So there's a lot of unknown going into this season. I just say to every Spurs fan, it's going to require a bit of patience. We cannot keep going through where managers aren't maybe getting results. We're throwing the toys out the pram and calling for their head. At some point, we have to let a manager complete a full season, another summer transfer window, and head into the next season so that we can start seeing results. Only relegation clubs go through 3 managers like we did last season. You know, this cannot keep continuing. Since Pochettino, we haven't had a manager in the dugout for one full season. And it can't keep continuing like that. The warning signs are there. So regardless whether media put the pressure on him, if the results aren't going our way, we have to stand firm and get behind the big man and continue to back him. But big up, Dad. Good to see you. We've got 3 more super chats here, and then for the last half an hour, we're going to go in and talk about some positions in today's lineup. We have Dara says it's a rebuild, lads. Enjoy the ride. Stay positive.
100%,
Yeah, exactly.
Dara. 100%, man.
Here we go, man.
Look, my opinion is we didn't need to make the rebuild as hard as we're making it by selling someone like Harry Kane. But look, I'm all for it. New rebuild, new era, new manager, the whole lot. Let's see what happens, my man. And do you know what the biggest thing is? You know, look, I'm used to you losing our best players: Carrick, Berbatov, Keane, who has, you know, Bale,
Hoddle,
Modric,
bloody Hoddle.
Modric. You know, I'm just talking about my time, Paul. You know, you've got a lot more skeletons. You've got a lot more skeletons in the closet.
Sorry, I was forgetting that some people were born this century.
I don't have grey hair yet, Paul. I've still got good colour to it, my man. But look, you know, I just didn't see why we needed to make it as hard as it's going to be now. But look, I'm all for it, Dara. Big yourself up, brother. Great to see you in the house as well. I see that's Euros, so you're obviously from Ireland. So let me know where, my man. Big yourself up. We've got Paul Vamben. He says, apart from the shithousery, what does Richie do? I mean,
listen, guys. Listen, I've got to step in here, right? Okay.
All right, man. Here we go.
If you base it on Richie this season, right? Okay, there is no argument, right? He hasn't performed. But there are many, many reasons why, okay? Conte misused him when he was fit and Sonny wasn't firing game after game after game, and he sat there. And when he did come on, where did he come on? He came on the right, not on the left. If you're going to play him anywhere, he needs to come off the left. If you're going to play him through on the flank, he was promised game time. He never got it. And then what did he do? He finally got game right, scores a couple of goals, and then gets an injury just before the World Cup. Touch and go whether he was going to go to the World Cup. He goes to the World Cup. He scores 2 unbelievable goals. Go and watch those World Cup goals, right? If you think, I don't want to hear it's because he was playing with great players. Those goals were unbelievable goals, right? No matter who you are, right? Okay? That's what he has, okay? You have to play him in the system. Conte's system did not suit Richarlison. And I'll tell you another thing.
It didn't suit anyone, man. We were all shit last year.
But this is what I was going to say. I think the majority of those players in that squad were progressive players playing a pragmatic game of football. I think what Ange has got and the advantage he has got, he has a vast majority of that squad that were there that were progressive footballers who can now return to their natural game and play progressive football, which they love. And I think that's what will make them happier. And with the right additions, and Ange ball, I reckon that a lot of these players will do okay. So a fit Richarlison, and I mean a fit Richarlison, he is not fit. Sonny is not fit. They're both carrying knocks and injuries. So I'd like us to judge, like we're going to judge Ange.
So who would you stick up in the striker role there, John?
Well, I think we might have to play with a false 9. If both of them are injured, we'll play
I
with a
don't
false
understand
9.
what that means. What's a false 9?
It's like you play someone like a Man of Solomon up there, right?
Oh,
like,
okay.
Right, like you would do, like Pep did, right? When he didn't have a striker, when he didn't have Haaland, and he didn't have Alvarez, right? And Aguero had gone. He played with a false 9. Didn't stop him winning the title. And the thing is, when you play the type of football that Ange plays, that quick interchange passing, high intensity, you can play that false 9. In fact, if you listen to some of the football experts, they were saying, what is Ange ball? They say, if you took Arteta ball and Pep ball and added steroids, that is Ange ball, right? That's what I've got
to give my 2 cents here. I've got to give my 2 cents here. The phrase Ange ball drives me insane, man, because I've been watching his teams for 20 years, you know, and all I can tell you about Ange ball, whatever that is that it's just playing football, man. It's playing football. I've seen
White Hart Lane.
I've seen like 5-man midfields. I've seen 3-man midfields. I've seen 2 men up front. I've seen 1 man up front. Everyone is saying they're an expert on Ange ball, you know. And I'm not saying you're saying this, of course, Johnny. You're just, you know, but it's just like
he does have a style.
Further about Ange ball, and it's just fucking football. That's all it is.
But he has a style. He has a
his style. His style. I'm telling you this, man. His style is get the ball and stick it in the fucking net, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah. No, yeah, he wants it forward. Get the ball forward, right? How many times did you watch us last season? Fucking get the ball. Davies got the ball. You got to go down the flank. No, check, back, sideways, across the back, slow, no interchanging. Who's making the runs? Who's asking for the ball? Who's demanding the ball? I want to see that high intensity. I've got a video that I posted on one of my socials, and fun enough, it was on TikTok, and I've got all these Rangers, all these people commenting, and it's about, from the Shakhtar game when Angie's shouting, "For fuck's sake!" Right? For fuck's sake, yeah. Right, and it is because it was like a library, man. I've never heard. A pin drop in the stadium on the Shakhtar game, and everyone's commenting. Right, that's Ange ball. That's Ange. That's Ange. That's Ange giving. What is that? No, that's managing. That's just the manager shouting instructions. But he looked frustrated. I want to see. We saw how many times last season did we see Spurs put out Conte can, right? I want us to see. I want to see Ange can, because I reckon Ange can. You won't be able to bloody produce. You won't be able to. You'll be beep beep beep.
They'll have to blur his mouth out, man. You know.
I'll do Tottenham's work for them. Ange angle. That's what we want to see. That's what the fans demand. Ange angle. But Paul Vanden, let us know whether you disagree or agree with the points being made there on Richie. Big yourself up, brother. We also have Jim, just a guy who loves Spurs. Dave, Richie needs a season out the shadow of Kane. Look, fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair. Right, Jim.
Yeah. Look, for me, given this season, I'm not writing Richie off. No, I like Richarlison. I like him as a person. I want to do the pigeon dance so badly. He just doesn't give me enough opportunities to do it. But sometimes someone moving out your way and you knowing that you're the main man can give you a new lease of life. Hopefully he grabs it with both hands and goes and scores them goals, Jim. I'm just concerned. I think too many people over the last while have completely dismissed what Harry Kane brought to this team, and I don't think they really understand what his all-round game has brought to this team. And there is going to be, a period where we have to adapt it.
He didn't pay 60 million, by the way.
Like people have been watching Tottenham year in, year out. Understand how many times Harry Kane have dug us out the shit and propped us up. We've relied on him where, we've had Dyer and Davies fucking up and just being clowns at the back, and, so in my mind, but I'm a fickle Spurs fan, I'm a Tottenham fan. He's gone. And, thank you and everything for you've done, Harry, but you're at Bayern now and we've got to move on.
Still not winning trophies, may I add. Moondog says,
you just got a jab in there, Harris, man.
No, look, I don't want
to be 60 million.
Bloody Gary Lineker. Gary Lineker was saying, he might win a trophy in one day. Not impressed with that.
Moondog, it wasn't 60 million, just for clarity there, okay? It wasn't even 50. It was just shy of 50. And let me tell you something, the way things are going, right, it will never reach 60 because he has to score the goals. We have to win trophies and stuff like that. And if we do win those trophies and pay those bonuses, you'll be saying Richarlison's great because he'll be part of the team that wins something.
Well, he was loving winning that Tiger Cup, wasn't he? He's the one that lifted that trophy.
Bit of a spray of gold paint on the thing they got from Halfords,
How embarrassing was that?
You know what the sad thing is, though, guys? I'm that deprived of the trophy. I kind of get a sick thrill out of winning them pre-season cups. At least I'm winning some.
I didn't give a fuck, man. I didn't give a fuck. It's like, yes,
glory. I knew where I was when we won the Audi Cup. I don't remember where I was. I don't remember where I was when we got top 4.
Fair point.
Buying who?
And Moondog also comes back. He says, even if it was 2 million, it's too much. He is crap.
No.
I think a lot of this comes about.
Look, sorry, Dave. I just said, look, Moondog. Football's a game of opinions. Everyone's got them, like an arsehole, right? But the fact of the matter is, you do not become Brazil's number 9, right? If you're dog shit. Okay, I hear your opinion. And based on his career at Spurs so far, it's a valid opinion so far.
Paul?
I reckon you're priming us up for a change in people's opinions there, Johnny. I reckon. Listen, but wouldn't it be great though? I mean, that's what we all want from.
We shouldn't wish for failure of
our.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Even if we
I'd
don't
love
like
him to score 20 or 30 goals. Fuck it, I don't care.
Correct.
I think where a lot of stuff comes in with Richarlison is, look, he was a massive letdown last season. I thought he's sort of build-up player, or he's, like with Harry Kane, you could play with him. With Richarlison, I felt like any time the ball went near him, it sort of broke down and came back the other way. And I think that's where a lot of it sort of stems from, because last year, look, regardless, he failed to do the basics, which was trap a ball and pass it. He failed to do the basics, and I think that's where a lot of the stuff comes from around him.
David, I don't know if you've noticed this, but this is something else I noticed in the preseason already. I agree with what you're saying about last season. It wasn't just the the tactics or the formation. It was the basics. We were just cocking up all over the place. We weren't getting the ball, controlling it, tapping it off. All that was completely out the window. But already in pre-season, I mean, aren't you amazed by the control that we've had over the game by not giving the ball away and not just doing dumb shit? So,
well, listen,
who knows, man?
Paul, football is a game of confidence, right? Confidence breeds confidence, okay? And look at a player like someone like Almiron, right? Almiron could not score a goal, could not hit a barn door, right? Game after game, week after week, all the Newcastle fans saying he's one of the worst signings ever, right? Suddenly, he scores a goal. Bang, 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 bang. Cold stop, right? And, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Unfortunately, as I said, he's not fit and he's carrying, and therefore fans will not give him any leeway. None. First mistake, the West Ham game, you want to see Twitter after the West Ham game. He hit the post. He created so much space, taking minutes. We scored goals because of that space he created, yet everyone said he had a shit game. He scores 3 goals against the Sailors, and the abuse is he only scored 3 goals against the Sailors. He can't win just now. He needs a period of time to deliver.
I'll give you a concrete example in our glorious past of like Clive Allen. Clive Allen was like a bit sort of fucking average, really. We used to sort of watch him on the shelf and think, he's all right, but he wasn't brilliant. And then that season happened where he got 49 goals, and he was dynamite, man, dynamite.
Couldn't do a thing wrong. Exactly.
Look, let's wait and see what happens. A couple more super chats to get through, and then I want to get on and talk about Pedro Porro because. Look, I think we need to get off this guy, give him a bit of time, but we'll get on to it. Christoph Kavalets. I mean, honestly, what a great pronunciation for me on that last name. I'm sorry if I've given you a stiffy. He says, we are winning the treble this year. Dream, dare, do. Absolutely love that, Christoph. Absolutely love it, Paul.
Dave, I was going to say, Dave, you need a tune for a super chat. When it goes super chat game, right? You need something like that.
Don't worry.
Chat comes up.
There's only 20 teams that can win the double this year, and we're one of them. And I like those odds.
Absolutely love it. And on the watch along, there's all these bells and whistles coming with it. So make sure you tune in for that. Moondog does come back though on the Richarlison chat, lads, and he does say, if I'm wrong, I will come back at the end of the season and admit it. I hope you will do the same. And I would love it if I am wrong. And look, I'll take the last part. For me, when I say things, it's because I see problems, but I always hope to be proven wrong on it. Like Johnny said, no one should wish for this club or anyone at this club not to be successful. We always should want what's best for the team. But I do agree with highlighting the problems, Moondog. And, look, I think, we'll come back to this at the end of the season, Moondog. If you're right, you're right.
I'm not saying this, Moondog. You could be 100% right, okay? All I'm saying is, there were mitigating circumstances for last season. He ended the season injured. What I find interesting is the narrative of the fans, right? When Sonny announced that he was in fact carrying an injury at the end of the season and he'd need an op, the empathy for him was overflowing. That's why he had a shit season. Richie had to go and see a specialist. Richie was seeing specialists all through the season and nothing. So we want all we want all players to do well. Even the ones we hate.
Absolutely. Look,
I'd even welcome an Eric Dyer header today.
Look, if Eric Dyer captains us to the FA Cup, I couldn't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care if I'm right or wrong, because I'm saying we're winning the fucking treble. I'm going to be wrong probably. And Arsenal and Liverpool and Newcastle, they can all fucking do one. I don't give a shit.
I don't know if you remember last year, I was videoing a corner and Eric Dyer scored the goal, and he came over and he jumped up and he punched the air, and Romero's come behind him and he's rabbit punched him in the
in the side, right?
And then he's rabbit punched him again, and then he's whacked him round the head, and he's whacked him round the head, and then Son's there, and he's whacking Son round the head, right? I mean, he's consistently racking rounds. The guy's not normal, right?
I love it.
But I love that. I love that fire. Let's hope today we get some fire in our belly, because the fans are up for it.
That's it, man.
And let's hope we get something.
Yeah, for sure. And look, every club needs that psycho in the dressing room. Every dressing room I've been in has always had
an absolute crazy lunatic, man.
Yeah, I can tell you now, they're good fun, and you don't cross them twice. Welsh Guy says, loving this Dave and super guest with Paul and Johnny. Look, what I will say to people, if you do want to see this rolled out for as many games as we can this season, just put in the comments and hashtag Johnny and Paul, and hopefully the boys will give up more time over the course of this season for us. So big up, Welsh Guy.
Give me a follow, guys. Give me a follow.
That's it, exactly. Actually, how dare I? Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, Welsh, gotta have to take this off. But Johnny Twitter at JohnnyH3232. Please, if you're on Twitter, get over there, follow Johnny. He does excellent Twitter spaces, and where he just goes on, talks about Tottenham. You will really enjoy them. So please get over and follow Johnny. And then also below us, you've got the wonderful Hotspur Hippie. Check that out on YouTube. Another great channel, another great guest as well. So make sure you check that out. If you want these boys on more, you have to get over to their platforms, show them the love as well. That's a part of the deal. But
like and subscribe.
Hang on a minute. Don't put your flame under a bushel here. We're on the Irish Hotspurs channel. You've got to give him a like and subscribe. And
well, that's what I'm saying.
Super chats and God knows what.
And subscribe, Dave. The more likes, it doesn't hurt to press that button. It's completely painless, right? Okay, it does not hurt. You won't need to see a doctor, and it doesn't cost you anything. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's all very easy.
You know, since I subscribed to the Irish Hotspur, I've had much more success with ladies. You know.
There you are. You know, there you are. Absolutely love it. And then we have DDMKTHFC85. That is an absolute tongue twister. And I managed to nail it at 11:46 in the day. So big up me. He says, people forget everyone wrote came up at first. Huh?
What a great, absolutely great. When no Goldado was to play for us, right? Right. I kept saying, God, give that kid a chance. You can't give him a chance. He went to bloody Orient. He went to Leicester. He was shit, right? You can't play him. He came in, banged that goal in, and he's never looked back. So, yeah, that is one of the best points of the day.
Yeah, it is a fair point, you know. No one thought Harry Kane would go on to do what he ended up going on to do. So, you know, fair. Look, just give Richie a chance and let's see what he can do. But big up DDMK. Absolutely great point. Jacko is putting in the link here for Paul's channel. Jacko, if you could be so kind to go over
Where's Jack tonight, man?
Yeah, big up, Jacko. Jacko, if you'd be so kind to go to Twitter as well and go into the messages, you see Johnny's Twitter account there. If you could grab that handle and also throw it in here, Jacko, that would be much appreciated. Absolutely love it. When the Owl Lad is calling you legends, we know we're doing something right. Now, I wanted to go on to Pedro Porro quickly because, you know, look, a lot of our fan base dislike Emerson, and then a lot of the fan base have concerns over Pedro Porro. For me, I get the concerns over Pedro Porro, right? He switches off defensively, and it's always a recipe for disaster. However, you know, it took Emerson a bit of time to settle in at Tottenham Hotspur, and look what, you know, he settled in now. For me, you got to understand, Pedro Porro is coming from the Portuguese league. He played for the best team in the league, so he wasn't asked to do absolutely anything defensively really whatsoever. It was all about how good is he on the ball. For me, I think Pedro Porro, just give him a little bit of time to adjust to the league. I get he's been here since January, but some people take longer than others. Just for me, I want to give him a bit of time to be able to adjust to the league. And I think with Ange Postecoglou, with the training, I think he will get clued up very, very quickly. I think he'll go on to be a very good player for us because technically the guy has got it. He just now needs to concentrate defensively. But the question is, does he want to do that? I've also always made the argument, why not use him as a right winger if you don't trust him defensively? I think technically he's good enough to play there. But look, we'll start with you on this, Paul, and we'll go back to Johnny at this time. Paul, What would you want to see at right back today, Emerson or Pedro Porro? What gives us the best chance of winning?
For me, I think the most exciting thing about Pedro Porro at right back is seeing Udogie at left back, because Udogie is, I might be simplistic, but he's like a mirror image. But Udogie, straight away, like when I saw him play, I was like, left back, okay, left back sorted. Okay, we're okay there. We don't have to rely on Ben Davies or anything like that. And I know Porro has had his shortcomings defensively at right back, but surely this alchemy, this chemistry can pass between two sides of the pitch. They're all going to be egging each other on and firing each other up. But, I like Pedro Porro's attitude more than anything. I think Emerson is a better defender at right back. I think he's a good solid right back is Emerson now. He's kind of created that out of himself. He's worked on himself and done that. He's been booed and overcome adversity, and you see him smiling a lot. And I think Pedro Porro's got that as well. But I agree with you, David. Maybe seeing Pedro further up the pitch wouldn't be a bad thing. Or what it means to me is, particularly like I say, since Udogie came in at left back, I think it's giving Ange good problems. Good problems. Who is going to be the best player in this position for this game and this kind of attack that we want to play? I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be great.
Interesting. Paul, Johnny's, where are you at with it? Who do you want to right back today?
I'm very opinionated on this, right? And I'm going to nail my colours to the mast, right? So
here we go.
When everyone was killing Emerson, I'm saying Emerson is going to come good. Emerson is a right back. If we get a manager that plays with right backs, he's going to be the man, right? I also said when we started looking at Porro in January, when I watched him on Y Scout, it was evident, absolutely clear as day, that he is not a right wing back. He was constantly exposed over and over and over and over again. And I said the only way that this will work, this guy is a winger, and the only way it will ever work is by playing Emerson at right back and Porro as a right winger. I got dog's abuse, absolute dog's abuse. When the first game came and he played against Leicester and they put poor old Tanganga behind him, I said, batten down the hatches, guys. It's going to be ugly because the guy can't defend and Tanganga hasn't played in months, right? And so it came to be. I don't want to go through all the games where Pedro has been caught with the ball behind him and not noticed the player behind him. £40 million. Look, as an attacker, he offers everything. He's great whipping the ball in. He's feisty. He's quick. Did we need to spend 40 million? And I'm not disrespecting him because I think forward, great. Did we need to spend 40 million pounds on another winger? No, right? That 40 million could have been spent, in my opinion, on a quality centre back. And I'll take you to that game, Spain, when Kieran Tierney absolutely tore Porro to shreds on that flank, right? He tore him to bits and he had to be taken off at half time for Spain. He's great going forward. He ain't good enough defensively. I'm sorry. I can count, just not even thinking, at least 5 or 6 incidences where he's been caught with exactly the same ball that he was caught with in the first goal against Barcelona, the back post. And like I said, I don't want any player to fail. I just think it's a failure. What they did, they appeased Conte. Conte wanted this player. We got him. Now we've got to pay him. Do you honestly think that we would get £40 million back for him right now? Does he look like a £40 million player to you, Dave? I mean, to be honest.
Not defensively. Not defensively.
Not even attacking-wise, he's not £40 million. You would not. When you look at him and Manor Solomon and how they look at Destiny. Destiny Udogie at £15 million, right? Perfect. Give me 3 Destiny Udogies, right, for every one Porro. I'm not saying Porro's bad. I'm going to give Porro time. I'm just saying, £40 million for a guy that can't defend, who we bought as a wing back, makes me. And just quickly, just to finish, because I don't want to take up time. Well, as far as Emerson's concerned, unlike Sanchez, who crumbled when they had the abuse, I know for a fact that what happened was that Emerson, at the end of the game, he'd go back to train and he would make his friends read him all the abuse from all the fans as motivation.
What a guy.
Now that, to me, is the mental strength to come back. And look how he plays with a smile on his face. I call him the smiling assassin, because as happy as he is, he's got the nasty side as well, man. He's got the nasty side.
True.
And like, we went through this experiment at Tottenham with this position called wing back, which I never like. A wing back is a fullback that can't defend and a winger that can't win. They're bloody useless. And we bought Jed Spence and Pedro Porro, but I think Pedro Porro has got a place up further up the field. But
100%.
what you're saying there, Johnny, about Emerson Royale, it just, I don't want to bang on the mental health drum here, man, but if a player's getting criticism and they're feeling it and they're feeling a bit upset about it and they want to quit, that's not mental health. That's not mental illness. That's something else. It means they're not. I mean, God, the number of great footballers that have been crazy, and I use that in a good way. I'm not saying that in a detrimental way. Like Paul Gascoigne, George Best. All of these players are geniuses.
You know why, Paul? Genius has always been flawed, right?
Yeah, of course. Eric Dyer ain't flawed. He's just.
I wish he was on the floor.
So I mean, we've gone through this wing back experiment, which I bloody hated at Tottenham, where we got like 7 wing backs, 4 on one side and 3 on the other, and all you need is, 2 full backs, 2 backups, and you're good to go. And I think Porro at least gives us. I agree with you what you're saying, Dot. Like, defensively, he's a muppet, but going up the pitch,
fantastic. Yeah,
we've got options. It's a good problem to have.
Look, let's give Porro some time. I think he'll prove people wrong by the end of the season. But look, he's got this season to show that he's adapted to it defensively, or else you're going to have to make a call on him at the end of the season, whether you're going to keep him around as a winger or whether you're going to move him on if he still got the same sort of defensive frailties.
I mean, Dave, this is an example of the new world social media hype. It was like last January transfer window. It was all Porro. Are we going to get him? We're all like stirred up into a frenzy about him. About this is the answer, and it was the last minute, and the owners are crap and all that. And we got a player that. Do we really need him? I'm not really sure at the moment.
Yeah. Look, go on, Johnny.
No, I was just saying. I'm not trying to disrespect him. I can't be championing Emerson overcoming it and then looking to disrespect Porro. All I'm saying is Porro can't defend. Going forward, he offers us. I think he's better going forward than Kulu. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. He delivers a better ball. Yeah. I think he's more aggressive, and I think he's more unpredictable. Kulu is predictable for me. So, I'm just saying how he was ever signed as a wing back is beyond me, because you only have to spend 15, 20 minutes on Scout to see how many times he's caught out of position with the ball. So let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. I'm happy with both options for the season, but let's see what happens. Look, let's move into the threats. I, for one, definitely want to see Mickey Van de Ven thrown straight in there. I don't want any of this, he needs time to settle in crap. No, don't want to see Davies in there. For me, just put Van de Ven in there, let him get in beside Romero, and let's get that partnership going. Let's not delay it any longer than what it needs to be. Guys, would you be in agreement that Mickey Van de Ven should be thrown in straight away, a.k.a. Flash, because of how quick he is?
No, I'd say if he's not ready, which is there's every chance he might not be ready. He's been doing a pre-season, but he hasn't played matches. I get all that. It might be a couple of games. I'd love to see him in now. But you know what? Going on the last game, Davison Sanchez, I hate to say it. I really hate to say it, but
No, don't do it.
Dave, man, come with me, brother. Come with me. Come with me.
He's right. Paul is right. I believe that of all the
I'm not saying he's the answer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, he's
the
brilliant
best
or
of the
anything.
crap.
I'm out.
but when you've got Davison Sanchez making, you know, in my mind, and I don't like the I don't like the guy, but I don't like the way he's played last year. He's been rubbish. He's been tripping over painted lines, for God's sake. But when I saw him doing well-timed challenges and blocks, and Eric Dyer doing nothing as his partner in central defence, I'm thinking, look, while we're getting over this bump until Van der Ven is ready or tap sober, I'm just saying that for my mate. He loves me when I say tap sober. Until someone like that is ready, I think maybe Sanchez might be better than our other options. It's not great, but,
Paul, listen, I said to Dave before we came on, right? I said to him
Come
before
on.
we came on.
I've lost him. I'm never coming back
he's
on this
lost him,
channel
but
now.
I said before he came on, right? Look, this is the way it is. If you playing Sanchez in a low block, forget it. One mistake, it's all over, right? It's done. If you play him in a high line, right, and he makes a mistake, he has the pace to get himself out of trouble. And as we could see against Barcelona in numerous times where they got 2 or 3 yards advantage, he was making that up because he's so quick. He's Colombian captain. I'm not saying he's the answer. What I'm saying is he's the best of the crap.
What was that, Johnny? I believe I heard you say he was the answer. Johnny says he is the answer.
He is the answer until we find a replacement.
Yeah.
Listen.
When you compare him to like Longley running back, at least Sanchez got back, didn't he?
Got the pace. Listen, as far as Mickey, right? Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my blood.
Look at this guy. He's totally. Look at him. He's totally deflated with all the Sanchez talk.
Mickey is going to be like Kyle Walker. He's going to make loads of mistakes, but he has the pace to recover, right? And you've got a Doji on that flank. That left flank is so quick.
Yeah.
We've got slow to medium on the right, right? We got average on the right. Emerson's not slow, but on the left, man, we got lightning pace. You know, Mickey's clocked the fastest times up in the Bundesliga as a defender. He's a 6'4". Basically, I look at him as an out of control juggernaut, right, with no brakes at the moment. Okay. Yeah. But when he finds his mojo, what's the saying? White men can't jump. Mickey Van der Ven is 6'4". He needs to learn to jump a little bit more because we all know that Romero's weak in the air. And I want to see him more commanding in the air, Mickey. But let's be excited about him. I'd throw him in. What better way to learn than throw him in at the start? Exactly. Look, that's why we brought him, right? To improve the situation, not continue on with guys that we know just aren't good enough. So for me, you throw him in.
Just the other thing I'd say is, like, for the first time in like a few years here, we've got a proper football coach, a guy that makes players play better, you know? So, I mean, we've seen it already. Lo Celso, we'd all written him off. Oh, fuck that guy. And he's like, oh, okay, he might be a decent player. Who knows, you know? So I'm not saying Sanchez is the answer. Johnny up here, he said Sanchez is the answer. But I'm not saying that. No, I said the answer. Hang on, let me clarify, right? I said he's the answer. For now. Until we have a replacement. Okay? Absolutely. You cannot, look, if you're saying to me, we're going to play a high line, you can't play Darren Davies because they can't run. No. Okay? Yeah. Sanchez is quick. He's the Colombian captain. He came out the academy at Ajax, right? There was once a player there. He was once voted one of the top young centre-backs in Europe. We paid £42 million for him, right? Somewhere along the way, he's lost his way.
And you said that Ange can turn water into wine.
Yeah, I did say that.
So if he can, maybe he can get something out, or he can see something in Sanchez that can at least make him do until we find the replacement. Whether it's Tapsoba, whether it's Tosin, whether it's Bongiorno, whether it's Nilsson, whether it's Shaw, or whoever else we bring in.
I hear you guys. I completely disagree. For me, we should not be in this situation where we're talking about the best out of the bad bunch who needs to stay around. They should be cleared out. But look, I get it. It's what we've got to deal with right now, and I understand the point you're bringing forward. But for me, I mean, it's the first time the guy I've seen him stay on his feet for a game. Every other game, he's slipping, sliding. He doesn't know where the ball is. Look, I like I said, I take the point, but I don't agree with it. We should just be shipping these guys out. It only happens at this club that we sit here every year hoping to get rid of Deadwood, and then come the end of it, we have to try and find a reason which is the best of the bad bunch to pick to keep around.
But Dave, can I ask you a question here, right?
Yeah.
So this is what worries me. Where's the fan base? If Sanchez went out the door, everyone would be celebrating. But then when you come to the realisation, when you've got an injury, that you're going to have to play with Dyer and Davis in the team, okay, that reality bites hard, mate. So what I'm saying to you is get rid of the crap, the real crap. Let's remove in order of the worst. Let's remove the ones we can get good money for that still add to the team. Højbjerg should not be the first player that's sold out of this club. Agreed. Right? You might not rate him, you might not like him, but he's not, should be not the priority. The priority is Rodon, the miserable get Rodon, right? Dyer, Davis, Tanganga if he's not going to go. And listen, I've got to be honest with you. I know Skip's very popular. I think he has a ceiling. I would have got rid of Skip, used that money and bought Alex Scott. It never happened. He's a massive Spurs fan. We'll be looking to buy him back for 50 million. Watch it in 18 months, unfortunately. Probably. Listen, Moondog. I'm just saying, right? You've got to understand what I'm saying here, right? I'm not. I'm just saying, of what we have left, right? He's the only one. We want them all gone. All of us here want him gone. We want them all gone. We want them all replaced and upgraded. But in the event that all we're left with is that, right? If you're left with a desert island, right, and there's one woman and she's got one tooth, right, and she looks like a beach whale, it's your only option. Take it or leave it. That's all I'm saying.
It's all we got, man. It's all we got until times are better. Johnny be spinning around his chair and he'll have Sanchez written on his back.
No, that will never happen.
Moondog, I think I need to lay down with you, my man. But look, I take the boys' point overall. Big yourself up, Moondog.
Yeah, but it's bloody obvious, though, eh? You know, we've got shit defenders, and he's kind of so far the least shit. So, you know.
Yeah. Look, I get it. Look,
Come on, Dave.
No, I want the club
triple is on, man,
and just get them out. And then Moondog also says, "I have had worse. I have had worse than a one eater, lol."
a one twofer. Oh man!
Big up, Moondog.
To tell us that.
Big up, Moondog, absolute legend, bringing some relief to the stream. And then we have Ribsy. So this is something I wanted to ask as well. Without Harry Kane, of course, you know, we're going to have a new penalty take. Harry Kane was absolutely neat from the spot. Who do we want taking penalties going forward?
Madison.
Maddie.
And that's just one other thing to add to that. Thank God we will never see Harry Kane take a free kick. 864 free kicks.
Yeah.
No. Madison for penalties. Madison for free kicks with Gio. Gio also takes penalties and free kicks.
Interesting. Paul, are you at the same with Madison on penalties and free kicks, or would you give Sonny the penalties, or Richie even?
I don't know about penalties, but yeah, free kicks, Madison all day long. You know, that's about 20 goals. Maybe that's the Kane walking out the door. He's walked out the door with 30, 40 goals, but we might get 10 or 15 back through free kicks. So that's pretty good.
Hopefully, that'd be nice. Madison does have a good free kick record. And Christoph Cavalet says, I can't believe we are so happy and positive. Come on, you Spurs. Look, come 4 o'clock today, we could be all pissed off, throwing our toys out front, going absolutely pissed. But I'm one of these. I'd rather go into the games with optimism and belief rather than, just go into it already pissed off and then coming out of it pissed off. I'd rather, get behind the boys. And look, even if we get slapped up today, I'll do the same next week. It's just the type of pathetic fan I choose to be. No one has to support the club that way, but that's just the way I prefer to do it, Christoph. But big yourself up, brother. But guys, any other talking points maybe you want to bring up or talk about before we end off?
Not really. I think, look, we start as we hope to carry on. We'll probably be, back with a rope ready to hang ourselves by the time we next speak. But we have to start. We have to start positive. If you don't believe, I'm one of those people that, if you believe you're going to fail, you always ultimately will. So let's have a positive mindset. But it's going to be a hard journey, guys. And I'm not sure. This fan base is so toxic and broken and fragile after the last year. I'm not sure that they can handle the journey. It's almost like a recovering alcoholic, right? And the steps. How many steps can you get to? Can you get to the Can you get to the end? Can you get to the end, right, of a step program, right, until we get through the other side? I think it's going to be I think we're going to have some heavy defeats. I think we're going to have some harsh lessons. And I just hope the fan base stays behind him because he's got a bloody hard task.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely does. And Johnny, what's your score prediction today before we end off, and tell people where and why they should be following you?
I believe the score today. Okay, I'm going to say we score twice, and then we fall away. I think and then we try and come back. I think it'll be 2-1 or 3-2 to us, but it will be close.
Interesting. I'm predicting a win today myself. And Johnny, where can people find you and why should they be following you?
Come and follow me on my Twitter Spaces, on my Twitter account. We hold Twitter Spaces where you can come on and we talk about everything that's topical, whether it's signing, a drama that's happened at the club, which is more or less every day, something befalling us, another ice rink, maybe another go-kart track or something. Whatever it may be, just come on, we'll have a chat. Also, you can find me on Tottenham on Tour, where we do an after-game thing called Anger Management, which I do with Brian Daigle, Tottenham on Tour. And so, welcome. Thank you for having me on, Dave, popping my cherry on your show. And it didn't even hurt. Do
you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure. Look, I've seen you do the rounds on numerous channels, and I think you speak a lot of sense. So I've been dying to get you on. So thank you very much for giving up a couple of hours this Sunday leading into the game. It really means a lot, Johnny. And hopefully it's not the last time. Hopefully we haven't scared you off and we see you around here more, man.
Listen, it's pleasure, and I appreciate the invite.
No, thank you very much. I've really, really enjoyed it. Everybody, get in the comments, say thank you to Johnny for giving up the hours. And I know a lot of you are saying he talks sense and absolutely everything else. So make sure you give him a big up in the comments, please. And Paul, my man, what's your score predictions? Anything you want to touch on before we sign out? And of course, where can people find you?
Well, I've got to be delusional. So, seeing as Newcastle won 5-1 yesterday, I'm saying we're going to win 6. No, we're going to win 7-2. I mean, don't matter what I say, does it? So I'll go 7-2. And I've really enjoyed being on tonight's stream. It's the first time I've been on with Johnny, and that was a real cool chat. And as far as the fan base goes, I'm just going to take Angie's lead. Ange said in his press conference the other day, he's not going to tell fans how to feel. You know, it's what the team does on the pitch, and if they're stuffing up, then it ain't going to work. But if the fans like me and you and you out there can all see what's going on, I don't think it would take much for us all to, you know, I'm sensing already, you know, sensing I'm a hippie man, you know, what the fuck. But I'm sensing that there is a lot of really good feeling about Ange Postecoglou and what he can do for the
100%.
team. Much more so than even Conte, because you know, we got into discussions about the style of football. At least we know Ange's balls out. Let's just fucking go for it, you know? And, you
absolutely love it.
And at the end of the day, the football club is us. You know, there's no one that owns this fucking club. It's us. It's us, the fans. And if we have that feeling and the energy that Ange provides through the players, and we flow on that and we get excited by it and we put that energy back, the sky's the limit, man. So I'm very optimistic. The treble's on. That's it. It's going to be 6-1. 6-1. That's
hey, guys, can I just say one last thing? Got to support Dave. Hit that button, right? The like button and the subscribe button, guys, right? You know, he needs that to make the channel grow. And so hit the button. Yeah. It doesn't hurt. It's easy. And it's the button where's the thumb, right? Because some of you do struggle to identify a thumb.
And you know what? You know, I've done a bit of, you know, arts and entertainment and shit in the past, but it was a couple of years ago. I came onto Dave's channel on a fan calling show, and I really enjoyed talking Tottenham to David, and I really enjoyed watching his channel, and I really enjoyed watching We Are Tottenham TV, where I'm going to pop up in a couple of minutes. But you know, I'm really thankful. This guy up here, look at him. He's sitting there in his Tottenham shirt with Sanchez written on his back, and the least you can do is click on the like and subscribe. And you know, I just say thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave, for getting me out of my little cubby hole. And I've been more than welcome on your channel. And you can catch me at the Hotspur Hippie. But it's a shadow. It's a shadow of the Irish Hotspurs channel.
No, it's not. It's not. Trust me, it's very, very entertaining. Hotspur Hippies channel is, and so are Johnny's Twitter spaces as well. But look, you know, that's it from us, guys. You will see us back here for the watch along at 1:30. Hopefully you all can tune in. We've got a new look for you guys, and hopefully you do enjoy it. I put a lot of time yesterday behind the scenes learning the ropes for it all, so hopefully you enjoy it by bringing up like live stats as the game's going on for all you guys as well. Darius says Perisic for me will be a big player 100%. This year. 100%. Why, Johnny?
Go
on,
Paul. I'm just going to say the reason why I think Perisic is going to be a good player is because at least Ange Postecoglou can pronounce his name properly. It's Ivan, and so
he's been good preseason as well.
Listen, let me tell you something. Ivan Perisic, right, was one of the best left wingers in world football. Fact, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Age 31, Antonio Boring Conte turns up and decides to turn him into a left wing back, right? A role he'd never played his entire career, right? But he had Bastoni, right, as his cover, okay? He comes to our club and he gets pelters from fans that don't understand football. He can't play shit. He's this, right? Yeah, because he's not a left wing back. He's a winger. 11 assists, playing in a shit pragmatic team, right? Two assists against West Ham. Another assist the other day against the guy needs to be playing. He will absolutely cause havoc. The only problem I have here, if you're playing Richie, he's perfect because Richie loves the air balls, right?
Yeah.
But how many times have you seen Sonny head the ball?
Not a lot. It's not his biggest asset, is it?
His biggest asset? No, it's definitely not. But Ivan Perisic, unbelievable player, right? And respect him because he deserves it. He's had an incredible career. and he still got it.
And he's still with us, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fucking yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And look-
Bente, super dobro.
For me, when it comes to Perisic, I mean, he's been brilliant preseason, and the fact that he's playing higher up the pitch now really is suiting him. So big up there, and look, hopefully Perisic can deliver us for us this season, my man. Really appreciate the support, and hopefully you agree with Johnny and Paul on that. And then we have Faz Radfar 3-1 Spurs. I love that he has that in there in the name. He says, "Stay patient with Ange. The problem is Levy," and that's the thing. You know, we've got to go on. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm hearing that Dyer wasn't on the bus.
Good. Come on.
And can I just say one other thing?
Yeah.
He's in the
doesn't
canteen
seem-
making the sandwiches.
It doesn't seem also that the numbers out that Dyer has a number at the moment. Skip has 4, Højbjerg has 5, Sanchez has 6, Son has 7, Basuma has 8, Richarlison has 9, Madison has 10, Royal has 12, Perisic has 14. I can't see. Hang on, let me see. Yeah. Oh, Dyer has 15. I beg your pardon. Dyer has 15.
Oh.
But let's
That'll
wait and see.
change.
But he's not on the bus. He's not on the bus. Which
He's
should be
also
a good
number
thing.
15 on the roster for canteen workers at Tottenham Hotspur away as well. So that's absolutely brilliant. But Faz Radfar, exactly, my man. We have to learn to stay patient with Ange Ball. Big yourself up, my man. Really appreciate the support. Now, I just want to say a quick shout out to everybody. William Kelly, Adrian Chia, Moondog, Tim Man 007, Perchy TV, Dara, Paul, Jim, Christoph, Welshgal, DMK, and also Faz Radfar as well. Thank you guys very much for your support for this channel. It really does mean a lot and help us along the way. And everybody that's tuned in, you know, all you guys in the comments that's tuned in, you know, that's helped with the discussion points along the show. I really appreciate every single one of you. Let's keep making this channel great. Let's keep trying to make Tottenham great. We'll see you back here for the watch along at 1:30. But most importantly, please, please, please get over and show the boys the love that they deserve for today's show over on their various platforms. That would mean a lot from me. So thank you very much. Thank you to Paul and Johnny for giving up their time this morning. I really do appreciate it. It's a lot of time to give up for us. So thank you very much, guys. We'll see you back here at 1:30. We never stop. Come on, you Spurs.
Go on,
In
you
and-
Spurs.
Spurs.
Everywhere we go.